Okay, the Hi. This is Tay, your emotional support animal, dude, person, creature. Let us indeed gehen, yes. Sure. It him. Yes, hello. It him. It him. In him. Hello. So. Alright, so. Connie, I'm glad to see you. Well, congrats on being first. Animal boy, howdy. Odious.
Hello.
Hello. Hi the Hexanity. Odious Gumumu. Party my beloved squishy, tree friend. How am I? I'll get back to you in a second on that one. As it turns out, the first step to healing from burnout is to allow yourself to heal. Indeed. Ain't that crazy? God. I don't know if that's the first step. Is that the first step? I guess the first step would be recognizing the burnout. And then bleh. Hi Rev. Hello Rev, how do you do? You've recently started losing weight again. Oh nice. I'm happy to hear that. Are these noises pre-recorded? They are not. That is a vocal warm-up involving bubbles. I've got like a whole contraption for it that I bought with money for goods and services, in this case goods. I guess also the service of having that delivered to me.
Hello.
Hi Suba. He's just naturally that charming, charming enough to do this. No, it's just not. It's not just a white rimmed cup. It's a whole like plastic flask with like a particular like what's it called, like silicone straw. It's like really nice and bendy. It has a certain width and stuff. That's like similar to your own like your breathe tube. I don't know what the word is. And it allows it to really nicely like act as an extension. Yeah, and it also has like a little a lid with like holes in it. I don't know why I'm holding it up like I'm showing it to you guys. Dear me. Hi Cannibal Boy. How do you do? Yeah, it's a good vocal warm-up. I thought I somehow forgot a pot of boiling water on the stove when hearing this. You must have some really interesting pots. Making noises like that. Suba, have you decided whether you want to try your subject matter as a subject today? If not, it's not a tragedy, but you know, I can always bring up my own idea like next week. Not a problem. Too complex? Oh, maybe we could work it out if you want to. Otherwise, you know, obviously no pressure. I'm a bunny, not a pretty derby horse. Yeah. You are. It's like right there in the name. Although you are pretty, so if you were to take part in a derby, it would be a pretty derby. Or you would be a pretty derbyist? What do you call someone who takes part in a derby? A derpster? A derp? Rex, hi there. Hello. Hello. Cute noises, you're a cute noise. And Mono, hello, salutations. Crystal, hi. And Richard, and more. My schedule is consistently unaligned with Teyu. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Aw. Man. I wish it was easier to, like, align everyone's schedules and stuff. It's very unfortunate. Did everyone see? I already made a schedule for next week, so I actually, at the end of the stream, will be able to tell you exactly when the next stream is gonna be. Well, not exactly, not on the minute, but, you know, generally speaking. I sent the video, hang on. Oh. Ah, okay. God, yeah. I did not manage to watch the video yet. It's like 45 minutes, so, yeah. I have one pot with the bottom part slowly just separating, and when heated it does make that kind of sound. That sounds a little bit worrisome. I'm not gonna lie. Also, thank you for that, Pat. Jockey mayhaps? No, but the jockey is the one riding the horse. That's not what I mean. Like, if Rev was like the equivalent of the horse as a bunny, then yes. Is the bottom part supposed to separate? No, I don't think so. I actually have no idea what that pot looks like. If its bottom manages to separate, that it... Huh? Isn't it supposed to just be like one thing? With like maybe an attached handle on the side? It's like maybe like a slow cooker or something? Do those have like a little compartment? But even then, that... I don't know. I'm thinking way too much about this. The point is, I have been asked how I'm doing, and regarding that, I have good news and bad news. Which one would you like to hear first? Most crockpots that I know have detachable ceramic basin. Both. Well, I can't say both at the same time. I mean, well, no. Mindful, I guess? I swear to God, y'all. Okay, today's subject is going to be difficulty making decisions. All right, I'll just start with the bad news. The bad news is, I woke up early and had trouble falling back asleep, and I went and you know, I stayed awake for like 2 hours or so, writing something for a new script. For a little video essay. The good news is, I woke up early and started writing for a video essay, so that's pretty good. So yeah, I am really tired, but also there's something brewing there, and I'm happy about it. Which is really interesting, like the contrast, because I've been very like brain empty recently, just like. Tired but inspired, yes. The artist's call. The artist's call goes something like... I think. So yeah. There. Yeah, I've been really brain empty lately because, you know, it's... My obsession with a penny snap cube is becoming a little bit, worrisome. It's getting a little too much. I'm just kind of spending all day, every minute that I can spend, like listening to her VODs and stuff. So yeah. Awoken but not broken. Yeah, she's amazing. Such energy, such humor, man. I really inspiring. I will say, I mean, it's not the worst thing. Like, I do get like consistently a lot of actual genuine joy out of those streams, but still, like at some point you get diminishing returns, and it's just like, you know, your brain's just like oversaturated, and you really just need like a moment to actually think, which is why, you know, that inspiration probably came about like when I was basically half asleep, you know. because that's a moment when everything is really quiet and I'm not blasting myself with stimuli the whole time. Okay. Some pots have an outer and inner shell with a thicker bottom part to absorb the heat. Oh, okay. Usually when I wake up really early or just straight up can't sleep all night, I go out for a walk. Yeah. Yeah, because you gotta give yourself that time to like really just settle down, to let your brain float about, you know, not literally. I mean your thoughts, that thing, that part. Same thing here, but with my boyfriend. Well, that's a different thing. I mean, obviously that can go too far too, but like, you know, interacting with like an actual person, that's a different thing than like, you know, the parasocial thing where you're just kind of like passively absorbing stuff, because you're still interacting and like being active in that whole process. And, you know, I mean, you can actively listen to streams, like I should do that more often, actually. Like when I'm listening to Penny, like really just when she says something really funny, just like try and copy that, you know, shadow her a little bit, and try to figure out like her, like how she manages to be so funny, you know, get some of that, absorb some of that skill for myself. Yeah. Okay, so alright, so as far as passively listen to streams, is that how y'all enjoy large streamers? Personally, I need the banter. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, I don't usually watch larger streamers. Although I will say, like, most of the time I do it like, most of the time I consume stuff like passively, because it's just like something that's happening while I'm doing other stuff. And yeah. When I'm actually like really sitting down to watch a stream, I want to be, you know, I want to be in a smaller community where I'm actually part of a conversation. But yeah, most of the time I'm just listening. I don't really enjoy watching large streamers, also like the banter. If I'm not talking or bantering, then I will get distracted. Yeah. Alright, so. Am I weird for wanting to always engage with the art I'm taking in? No. I mean, weird is definitely the wrong word, but yeah. I will say, I mean, I guess you're technically in the minority, considering that there's always more lurkers than chatters. But yeah. Boomer, hi. Twitch is TV to most people. TV doesn't expect you to engage with it like sending a text message. For example, it says easier to be a streamer and think of it that way. Yeah. Yeah. So, subjects. We actually have a bunch of subjects today, huh? Otis has brought up burnout. We've had like exhaustion before. That is very similar, to be fair. But I don't know. And then I guess I have jokingly brought up, you know, making decisions. And the thing that topic idea, what's on your mind? I mean, that's what I'm asking you. That's very similar to like a snapshot, like the snapshot thing when we're just like, okay, look what you're feeling and draw that. Normally I'd still be sleeping, but had to wake up early today. Aw, good morning. I've got a song that's stuck in my head that I want to express, but I don't know how to ask about that specifically.
Hello.
Oh, hi Rev. Usually the cranium, no, the mind is on the cranium, in the cranium. I guess, okay. regarding like on top, you might have a point there, but like it's not on top of the mind. The mind is like kind of the mind kind of subsumes. No, it's like all throughout the body. I don't know. I think your mind extends beyond the cranium, like at least to your, your scalp, the skin on your scalp. It's still part of the mind, I think. Rev, you did a thing. You did a thing. Also, Lapate, hello. What did you do? What did you do? The Thing. Famous horror movie. The Thing was done. No. The Thing was done by Reverie, but especially Reverie did a thing. You can't use the passive voice for that. You gotta be brave and say like, I did the thing. Because otherwise it's just, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But framing, framing can make a difference in how you think about something. I don't know about doing the thing. That seems quite dangerous. Yes. Can't disclose that publicly, but I can officially call myself Gamer McGamington now. Ooh, look at you, man. An idea for art could be what you consider happiness or something like that. What you consider happiness? I mean, we've already had the subject of happiness not too long ago. But yeah. So, what are the options? I've only been half paying attention. All right. So once again, I've not actually managed to finish like enumerating it all. So you're good. But yeah, Otis brought up two things. Well, the first one wasn't really a suggestion, but they brought up, she brought up, freaking burnout? Burnout. Not to be confused with blackout, which is what keeps happening to me. Which is very similar to exhaustion, to be fair. Also, what's on your mind, which is, to be fair, also very similar to like the snapshot thing. And then Suba didn't want her idea. Then so yeah, then I also brought up, like half jokingly, making decisions, which a lot of people have trouble with. Lots of things do overlap, yeah, that's true. And yeah, the idea that I had from the beginning was masks. The masks we wear, which was actually something I got from that little list that I found last week. But I don't know, it's actually kind of stuck with me, and it's been a little bit relevant to like my thoughts recently. Masks is a good one. Yeah, I want to do burnout since that is what I'm somewhat experiencing. Ah, dear. I see. All right. I mean, I wouldn't fight you on that. So, rip indeed. Gotta double check. Okay. Don't think I necessarily missed anything. So, let's have a poll. You could have it that everyone does their own thing and they just write out what they chose to do. I guess? No. That makes everything like too messy. I would rather we all do one thing I hope that's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do a poll for 2 minutes. What draw? Making decisions. Burnout. And the masks we wear. There we go. What draw? What do we draw? 2 minutes. Use your vote to write. Got 2 for burnout. 1 for the masks we wear. What will it be? Oh, 3 for burnout. 2 for masks. Ironically enough, no one is deciding on making decisions. Which, to be fair, I mean, the other stuff is a lot more like... it grabs you more. Much more intense. Alright. It's a lead for burnout, but not a very strong one. Will something happen to upset the balance? I didn't realize that 1 minute would be enough. Thank you for the headpats, by the way. Come on! Time is passing! Hang on, in the meantime, let me actually bring up my iPad capture. That makes a lot of sense, I would say. Use your time wisely. You have limited time on this earth. And, sorry about that. Sorry for that reminder of your mortality. Okay. Burnout it remained. Okay. Wow. I just wrote something for the mask we wear, so I'm gonna post that even if it loses. Oh, okay. Man, you were fast though. God damn. Ah, Scully, hi. Having unlimited time on the Earth does sound like it would get boring after a point. I mean, there's worse things than boring, you know? Oh. Okay, today's subject is burnout. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. I wear a lot of masks. The me you see shall always be living behind the backspace key. Aww. Is that an original? Did you compose that? Because like that is pretty amazing. I had the perfect idea for the mask we wear. Aww. I mean, we can do that next week. I just wrote it now. Damn. Hang on, I'm gonna just copy that into my notes with proper credit, of course. Hang on. Well, quotes, ideas from, hang on, here we go. There we go. Music, diddle-diddle-dee, lapate. There we go. Okay. Yeah. It is pretty amazing, to be honest. Alright. Okay then, consider the longer you are alive, the greater your odds of being trapped forever. Dear me. That is dark. Okay, so Yeah, let's go. I guess let's count down to 30 minutes. That is not 30 minutes. That is 307 minutes. Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah, let's go. Burnout it is. Bum. Burnout. Alright, by the way, of course, if anyone is new here and would like a little introduction to how this stuff works, please go ahead and speak up. Otherwise, I'll assume that you all know the process. Here's the link for you to submit your work. Once you're done, okay. And you know what? Since I just did all that stuff, I'm gonna reset the timer. There we go. Okay. Burnout. What does that evoke? Is it something you currently feel? Is it something you have felt? Is it something you felt close to, at least? What does it look like in your mind? What kind of colors does it have? What kind of shapes? What kind of situations come to mind? And yeah, good luck. No. Burnout. It's not far removed from my recent lived experience, I will say. Simply, you know what? I'm gonna do a thing with. It's pretty similar to the exhaustion thing. I'm just gonna look at that and see, like, if since then my feelings have kind of changed. There's a new perspective I can find on this. Okay. I don't even know if that one was necessarily exhaustion. Ah, yeah, I think it was. This one was support, which actually pretty similar to the masks thing too. Okay. Okay, I got an idea. Don't make it too dark. Don't make it too dark, my dude, or else it's gonna be impossible to see anything. Alright. I'll make it smaller. No. Alright. So everyone, remember to stay hydrated. Got really hot again today. Woke up at like 11 and then went back into bed to like lounge around a little bit and then realized like, wait, it's kind of warm, isn't it? And then like turns out like the temperature just kind of snuck up on me. I've been so diligent about looking up at like how warm the next day is gonna be. And then the one time I don't, it gets real hot. Okay. I've got one element of it. But one element of it figured out, but the rest. Hasn't been raining, it has. Okay, you know what? Actually, never mind what I said before. Gonna do it this way. Had the same thing happen, random surge of heat after a period of cold weather, yeah. I will say, like, one thing you gotta give to the climate change, it did make talking about the weather interesting. By the time you realize to close your windows, it's already too late. Mortis. How do I depict this? Also, go here. Don't need to move down so much. There we go. Ultra strength. Hi there. How do you do? Hi. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I just realized this whole time I was already super certain that like it would be going to the left. Usually stuff goes like towards the right. But I don't know. Just came naturally and it makes sense in a way. Yeah. Alright, let's see, how do I... You know what? Wait, oh, this is way too big. This is too big. Let's just really block out shapes here. And also, you know what? Let's just undo everything. Hell yeah. Just throw it all out. Then thing we can do. Thing. Okay. But that was the wrong brush. We need to change it. Okay. I need to practice my essentials, like my technique, my ability to draw precisely. Oh wait, before I do that, I'm actually gonna need to exercise here. Sure. Hang on, we can make this even more powerful. We're at like 70 minutes. By the by. Also, That's better. That's more like it. And here. No. It's a clearer silhouette. Yes. Oh yeah. Wait. Here's another thing. Here's another thing we can do. Exaggerate the wheels. Okay. Go. Okay. Honey, here to doze off to T's voice. Aww. Oh man, I really have been considering making these earlier, so I can like, you know, enable you to actually join us again. You know. But man, then like. And it's gonna be super early for all the people in the US, and I don't know. I don't know how best to do this. But I'm happy to see you. Everyone follow Hojuzani. She's not an affiliate yet, and she deserves to be. Very calm and cozy. And lovely art. Wow. So fun last time, but I'm weak now. Not about weakness. It's strong to, you know, take care of yourself and not, you know, evolve into the degen hours of the night. It will never be because career. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why. Oh, you can't be an affiliate when you're Korean? Is that what you're saying? I had no idea. Avoiding burnout by not drawing right now. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. You know what? You have aced the assignment. Good job. Twitch career got evaporated. Oh dear. That sounds that sounds intense. What? Can we make this a little bit more clear? Actually, this would probably help. It needs a little bit more silhouette, I guess. I don't know. I stream for the vibes in French, for real, for real. Oh, okay. I was just, you know, when I did that thing with the two cool finger guns emotes, and I wanted to put you in between them, I realized, like, hey, there are no emotes. There are no Hojo Sunny emotes. Quick question. The little blurb on the stream says that we can submit written words, but the Google form says that uploading a file requires an image. Could I just save the text to a Google Doc and paste the share URL? I mean, uploading a file requires an image. Does it? I mean, you can. You can just... Huh. I don't know. Honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you could find a way to like, to like arrange those photos, those words, in like a way, just like, you know, give them a little bit more of a shape, that would already help a lot towards making it like more of an artistic thing that's easier for me to like. I mean, obviously words can be artistic, but like, and it's harder for me to work with just words. I hope I managed to actually articulate what I wanted to say. It's moments like that that I'm like, oh, to be affiliated? Oh, I'll paste the share URL and we'll see what happens. Okay. Turns out drawing was just like one color basically. Kinda hard. Okay. Can we do one of these things? Oops. Yes, we can. And now, now can we add some color? Some couleur. Thinking, sure. Oh, there we go. Looking good. Not sure about that one. New. Izzy, hi there. Easy. Let me be... I don't know what this is supposed to change, actually. Okay, no. I have to do this differently. Painting. Okay. What? Okay, time is almost up. There's also an ad break incoming. So that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate timing. I guess I'll keep working on this until the ad break is over. That seems to make sense to me. Just woke up. Welcome to the living world, to the waking world, to the world of abscess. What? It is what? Huh? I was thinking of excess, and then I just changed my mind, I guess. Yes. I don't know. Sometimes I try to just kind of let the words flow, and sometimes they betray me. Alright, like I said, this word does feel like an abscess. Oh. Rip. Wow. Wow, this is this is something. I will say, this is certainly something. Weird artistic decisions have been made. But you know what? It does have something to it. There's a thing going on. Not terrible. Easy tired. Why easy tired? Hi there, Georgie Mill. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Do 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 do. Yes. All right. I guess let's put this away and start getting ready for the first submission. Alright, already got 3. That's nice. And welcome back. Went on a short vacation and slept a total of 6 hours in 2 days. That is, not ideal. Izzy, I will say, that is not ideal. I then got a full night's rest and I'm dead. Yeah. that's gonna be the thing when you finally do get the rest. Like, all that energy that's been keeping you awake is just like... Oh, man. I just saw this. The last image that I've used here. Ah, those were the days. Back when Izzy still talked to me. You know, before the incident.
What?
Yes. Alright. Oh. Oh. Okay. The burnout theme is timely because I just quit my job since I noticed I was about to go into a burnout cycle again. Well, I'm glad that you noticed the warning signs early enough, and you know, did something to counter it. Had to do some housework stuff. No worries. No worries. Okay, so there is a conflict here. So we're seeing inside a person. We're seeing inside the person, and the heart and brain are in conflict. And they seem, interesting. So there's a lot of like ways in which they don't seem to align. The brain seems to want to go up. The heart just wants to go like sideways. The heart has like this this very round appendage. The brain has a very angular one. And of course, what it all boils down to is that like the person, the actual person, is just kind of, you know, dying. And this is like, you know, there's something to be said for like this, for the more holistic, like, way to approach our minds and bodies. Like in Western cultures, we tend to have this idea of like the heart and brain being like these separate things. Like, I mean, rather the mind, the brain and like the soul, or rather the body and the mind. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm getting the words out right, but like, yeah, it definitely can become a very real thing. Like, I would say that like, your body and your mind are kind of the same thing, and it can be very damaging to think of them as separate. But that kind of thinking, you know, it's kind of like a, I think that's kind of a malaise of our like societal, like, you know, way we live, is that like we are taught all these things that go against our natural instincts. And, you know, we are taught this dichotomy. We are taught to be like, you know, to, how to put it? We are taught to just accept these realities around us. We are taught very strict rules, and we have to follow these rules, even though our like instinctively we don't feel the reason why. Like working, for instance, working for money is very it's a very difficult thing for the human brain to grasp, because like you do something that you don't enjoy for many hours at a time, and then at the end of the month or something, you get something that is very abstract. You get just a number on your account, and it's like you just have to tell yourself like, ah yes, this is the thing that like is important. This number is very important. This number says that I need that I can live and like do stuff. But like, it's not like the we are animals, you know? Like, our minds are made to be like to seek out pleasure, to seek out things that feel good, that feel right. And, you know, that is very rarely something we can really do, that we can really attend to in the societal structures we find ourselves in. And then, you know, it ends up with like these internal conflicts where the brain has like these rigid structures that it has learned, where it says like, ah no, we see these rigid structures, we have to follow them. Here's a step, here's a stairway. This is like a stairway, this lightning like form, and you need to walk up it. You need to follow a career path and keep moving up. And you're being so dumb by not realizing that, like, this is the important thing. This is the important thing that you need to do. It really is. Trust me. Even if it doesn't feel like it. Even if it sucks and you don't really want to do it. It's important. And then the brain is just like, no. No, I want to do things that feel good. Why should it be good to do a thing that doesn't feel good? That doesn't make any sense. And, you know, they both have a point. Homework due in November. Oh, no. I know the heart-brain conflict all too well. Well, same. There's definitely a cultural perception based on rules and absolutes where nothing is as simple as that. Yeah, just society is made to, like, you know, it evolved to function in some way for, like, the whole system, but not for each of its participants, right? A bit of the opposite. Oh, the heart wants to feel good. The brain's like, no, this is how it's done. Yeah, that's what I mean. The heart... Did I say the opposite? I hope not. Yeah, the heart wants to feel good, and the brain is like, no. No, do the actual good thing. That is not the good thing. The thing that feels good is not the good thing. The thing that is good is the thing that feels bad. Because it's because they said so, and words are powerful and stuff. You know? It's yeah. It leads to a lot of pain. It leads to a lot of pain when there's like this disharmony within you. And you don't feel like you can trust yourself, and you don't, which, man. It's still one of those things that I really struggle with. You know, like figuring out like when to trust my gut, and when my gut is just, you know, being anxious and stuff. You really need to like cultivate an environment within yourself where like both parts of yourself can like talk very calmly about it, so they aren't just like fighting, but rather saying like, hey, okay, what is going on exactly now? Like, why do you feel this way? And what can we do about this? Freaking compromise can we find? Yes. Medizin, die gut schmeckt, hilft nicht. Medicine that tastes good doesn't help. That is a saying, but I don't think it's right. Because like, there's also the saying, you know, Lachen ist die beste Medizin. You know, laughter is the best medicine. And my rule of thumb, trust your gut, but figure out why your gut's saying that. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, let's see, what did you have to say about this? Nothing. Okay, fair enough. Alright then. Yeah, thank you so much for that submission. Okay, here we have... Oh. Here we have a story on burnout. Okay. Let's put all this away then, and... where is this thing? I'm gonna this out. Make sure I don't dox myself. If mine's being problematic, you can skip it. No worries, no worries. We've got enough time. I'll do my best. Okay. At the top of the mountain, there's respite. What? Hang on, is this... Okay. At the top of the mountain there is respite. You knew this setting out. You've seen the photographs taken of weary travelers who came before you, reveling in their achievement. The pink horizon, the dark blue dome of the sky above their heads, the snow-capped peaks at their feet piercing through the clouds of the valley. Where are you now? It's impossible to say. Do you even know how long it has been since you set out? Days, weeks, months? The bright-eyed visions that warmed you at the start are cold now, distant, barely remembered. What remains are shredded and cut, and behind them you see only snow clinging to your boots and endless cliffs of ice and rock that rise up, 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 and offer no sign of ending. Where once was a sun-kissed smile, there is only the bitter sting of frozen wind. You try not to think about how other people did this. In your mind, you know they suffered just as much as you, but in your heart there is only jealousy festering into hatred, and that's not going to help. You take a moment to breathe and count your inventory. For the last few miles you shed that which you didn't need, everything from trash, which you were supposed to take with you so as not to discourage those who came after, to equipment, to motivation. All you had now was a coat and the wherewithal to put one foot in front of the other, to trudge, to wander, directionless yet moving. Is it all for naught? Is the divine euphoria of the mountaintop really worth it, stained now as it is with the dried blood, sweat and tears clinging to your broken body? Ahead of you there is more of the same, and more of the same after that. Behind you is a welcoming slope, comfortable downhill, and at the bottom there awaits you warmth and comfort. You can always give up. What are the consequences really? Of all those who tried, most failed. You would be in the company of the majority. All it takes is a wish and the trial is over. At this rate, it'll be easier to get over the regret of giving up than it would be to finish. Wow. There's some very good writing. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but sorry. But like, yeah, it really gets this emotion across. Of like, you know, like we talked about earlier, there's like this sense that there is something there. Like, you have seen the stories of like people's success, people having made it, and you feel like, ah, yes, that is what I'm supposed to strive for. And you know, at some point going forward just turns into this automatic motion that you don't even you barely are aware of. It's just become automatic. It's just become the thing that your body does. But all that has sent you forward towards this is already lost. The motivation and all that made it bearable, the equipment and everything, it's all left behind, and you're just, yeah. And yeah, that jealousy, I know how that feels. Like, it's so hard not to fall into this disdain for those who came before you, for those who made it, for those who you look at and think like, they must have had it so easy. Why does nothing come easy to me? You think if you feel your own suffering, and you know, you don't see other people suffer like that. Or maybe you do, and you're like, man, you know, that doesn't change things. Doesn't mean that doesn't make my own suffering any easier to deal with. I'm still suffering, and I don't want to be. And yeah. Is the divine euphoria of the mountaintop really worth it, stained now as it is with the dried blood, sweat and tears clinging to your broken body? Yeah, that's a thing, like, This might be a silly example, but I most often see this thing with, like, you know, gaming achievements. Like, there's a point at which, like, striving for, like, this really difficult achievement, when you actually reach it, sometimes when you've pushed yourself too hard, it ends up being the case that you don't even feel happy about it anymore. You're just relieved that it's over. And at that point, it's gone too far. At that point, you have pushed yourself too much, and, like, you should have stopped long ago. But yeah, it's it feels like failure to give up like this and just go back down the slope and back into comfort. But, like, sometimes that is simply the best option for your sake, and, you know, who else's sake should it be for? Reveling in your achievement, that's you. Me when I'm playing Celeste, but also really accurate on an emotional level, yes. I go through the same thought process so often. What if it's best if I just cut my losses and leave? I mean, the sunk cost fallacy is a fallacy for a reason, you know? I mean, yeah, right, that did mean what I meant it to mean. Infinity either, by the way. Like, you feel like you have to keep going because you already invested something, but I mean, you've made experiences and stuff, you know? It's not been for nothing. So, yeah. Hi there, nervous dear. How do you do? Yeah. Alright. Let's see. What did you have to say? Constructive criticism is always appreciated. That's very silly. We don't do constructive criticism here. This is not about. Oh wait. Hey God, I wasn't supposed to show that. Oh no, I was not supposed to show that. Gah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. That is a thing that happens. That is a thing that happens when I have to mix different sources in OBS together. I was typing in the form. What happened? I showed my browser window to share this submission, and I didn't realize that I was still that I was showing the form. You better not do that with my submission. Okay. I'll try. Anyway, so for the note. First thing that came to mind, really, I just translated the feelings into images, then wrote down the images as best I could. Oh, you did do that. You did manage to do that, and it was pretty powerful. I'll turn you into Stu. I've never been Stu. That's a very strange name. Who names their kid Stu? I guess it's short for, like, Stewart or something. Oh. Wow. Stewart the goat. Hang on, let me take a frickin' sip. Yeah. Oh, you're definitely not the first quote-unquote weirdo who's doing text. Stuart the goat versus Stuart the little. I give the goat the advantage here. Yes, as you should. Right, a lit hero clip. Mind if I post it here? Sure. Go ahead. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
Up. Yep. Up.
Yeah. Good missiles, dog.
This doesn't feel right anymore. I don't like it.
What?
Winning, apparently. Winning feels weird, man.
Yeah. I don't do this no more.
You're unhappy when you get beat or when you win. Uninstall. You're living in a purgatory you cannot enjoy.
Bro, it's literally, no, that is literally my life. Win, feel nothing. Lose, the voices come back. All the enjoyment has faded, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Real. The voices come back. Oh god. Okay. Got the new submission. Here we go. If you want to take you through this monkey rap. Well, man, modern art, heck yeah. Look at that. What the heck? This is, oh, interesting. Hey there, Ping, how do you do? Hello, hello. You've been well too. Have you? Have you been well? You better have been well. I won't forgive you if not. Working? Okay. Have a good work. Oh, oh damn. Wait, I didn't consider this. I didn't consider it being reversed on me. Oh no. Okay. The mood on this one. Hang on. So. It's got two parts. Got two parts to it. Well, it's got two parts. So like 4 parts. So like, you know, the image and the words. Oh, seems like, yeah, the imagery is like, it feels kind of broken, like it kind of faded, like shards. Kind of with a downward motion crumbling. Like kind of meteor-like a little bit, falling down. And but then the further it goes down, the more like the downward part is a little brighter, I think. Yeah. The mood is very like hurt, I would say. Like there's very little going on there in terms of like real emotion. It's just like feels very like there should be color, but there isn't. It's been drained. And then I feel like the, yeah, if it hurts is the top part, and then why bother? And like the point where like they give up, they kind of become whole again, but still like kind of fragmented. Like you can still feel the shards. You can still see where it was broken before. I think that's what I'm seeing here. Although, that square shape is also not super positive necessarily. Like it feels kind of boxed in, it feels kind of like rigid. Like you're just going into this defensive mode. Just kind of turning in wall faced, turning cold, and yeah, but you know, that's sometimes you need that. Sometimes that's necessary in order to heal. You just, you know, put up those walls for a bit and give yourself time to let those cracks mend. Yeah. I get this on a subconscious level, so I shall respond in kind. Bother, because that means you're living. It is very sharp, and the white square sort of evokes to me the mental imagery of a paper cut, but it feels more like a razor's cut. Oh. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Brr. Man. Very, very interesting, yeah. Hey, okay. No additions, no notes or anything. Okay. Well, thank you for that submission. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Ah, bop, bop. Next up, something a lot more colorful. Of course, you're welcome. If you would like to add some more thoughts, like what went into your process and stuff like that, I would love to hear it. It is blank, devoid of its own expression. Hang on. It is blank, devoid of its own expression. It is sharp, so it can defend itself from any hostilities. Painting on their own canvas means letting their guard down. Oh. Means letting their guard down. Does it mean that? I would say that like painting on your own canvas means like taking control back. Seems more like it. I'll say I used the Arial font to make it look even lazier. I see. It didn't look lazy to me at all, but yeah, that makes sense. Like just kind of the words slapped on there. Yeah, the shapes didn't look lazy at all, but yeah, huh. There's an interesting choice. Okay. Oh. Blah 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 blah. Interesting. So this is like, huh. This is kind of idyllic place. And yeah. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know if it's intended to be, but it gives this feeling of like this you know, suburban utopia. Like all these beautiful, colorful houses and, you know, green, blue skies. And, you know, all these people out and about, and then there's this one person who is literally, quite literally burning up. And hang on. Is this... Are they pulling something? It looks like they're pulling something. Huh. Huh? Dibbleball, the eggs are with you, and Ada the Huntsman Spider says hi. Good day to Ada the Huntsman Spider. And to you too, Eggs the Benedict. Hello. What's up? Okay, so... Hang on, there's a lot going on in chat all of a sudden, and I need to try and focus here. Ah, Katsune, hello. Thank you for the follow. Egg. So, hang on, let me try and focus here. So, first of all, there's obviously a very strong contrast here between like this outside world, this very idyllic seeming outside world, which seems downright scandalized at this person who's like burning up, burnt to crisp, like burnt down to their skeleton, but still moving forward, like as if just animated through sheer will. And they are burning up everything around them, everything after them, leaving ash in their wake. And they seem to be pulling something. They seem to have, like, they seem to be, like, pulling this giant something off screen. Also interesting to note, like, it moves towards the right, which generally in cinematography, things move from left to right, when there's like, you know, progress, when it's going forward. Left to right means forward. And it's very interesting. In like the very first thing that came to mind is that like it's very unusual for others outside to be like so so acutely aware of someone's burnout suffering. It doesn't tend to be something that like really is so outwardly noticeable, much less something that causes damage or anything. But on the other hand, this might just be like, you know, the perception. This might just be like the perception of the person burning, you know? Like everyone else is like so has these idyllic lives with their pets and their children and everything, and they're, you know, they're scandalized to see someone like me who's struggling so much, you know? And I'm just here, I'm the anomaly. The anomaly who just brings death and pestilence with them wherever they go. But, you know, what am I supposed to do? Not go? I have to move, you know? I have to move forward. Also very ironic that there's like, you know, there's water right there, but they move past it. Like there's something there to like cool them down, let them, you know, stop being on fire probably. And they're just walking past it like zombie-like. Like they've lost all consciousness of where they're going, which seems to be like a very recurring motif here today. And yeah, so yeah, that's the impression I get from it, that like they feel like they're the odd one out, like the only one who is like suffering this way, and like they're everyone else has these idyllic lives, and you know, is just so horrified at like their terrible suffering that it's just such a monstrous sight. Oh god, so ghastly, you know. But it's not true. I think, you know, I've been to some I've been to a clinic a bunch of times, like sometimes even as an inpatient, and like there were some like super quote unquote normal looking people there. And I think, you know, the people you'd find at a clinic, like all in all, I think they're you know, obviously there are some people there who have like trouble functioning at all, like in society, who are really struggling a lot with very specific and very intense things. But like all in all, I think that is kind of balanced out by people who are exactly like this, the most average person you find outside there, and they're just they're actually like kind of more quote unquote sane than those normal people outside who don't get therapy, because they actually at least have the wherewithal, the awareness to get help for their struggles, instead of like finding all these other outlets for it, like, you know, not to get political, but insert political stuff here, you know. And yeah, what I want to get at is like, you can see inside of the other people, but like everyone, I think, everyone in our society has a lot of trouble adapting to it, and you know, we all just have different ways to deal with that, to try and figure out a way to get through it. And some people just, you know, some people show it, some people don't, some people just suddenly snap, and some people don't. Some people, you know, some people don't get any help and end up just, you know, doing stuff like taking it out on their children or on their wives or whatever, you know, etc, etc. I think everything that honestly, I think pretty much every societal ill that we find is like caused by everyone being stressed, honestly, by like having to try to fit into society. And yeah, and just being unable to find a healthy way to cope with it. So honestly, with the self-awareness of like your own struggles and your willingness to do something about them, you're already like way ahead of most people, honestly. And if it feels like that, I hope you can find just a way to heal and to relax, to calm down, and you know, allow yourself to stop and cool down, you know. Yeah. Okay, so now Butters says hi reluctantly, but Butters is evil. I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope Butters gets better. First name Egg, last name Benedict. Right. Noted. Hello, Egg. The thing they are pulling is what's burning them. They're trying to do something, but they're having a bad time. Yeah. True, yeah, the burning comes from that, but like they apparently can't let go and stuff, so yeah. Oh, thank you. Other people don't seem to be noticing them, too wrapped up in their smaller problems. I don't know, I see, it seems to me like, you know, this one person like has that dog and is trying to pull the dog is like barking at the dangerous thing, and like the person is trying to pull them away. The woman seems to be like pulling their children away, like, oh no, don't look at them. And this one person seems to be looking towards them and like calling the police or something. So yeah, they do seem to notice, as far as I can tell. Alright, so let's see. Given my recent experience with burnout and struggling to actually relax, and how burnout hurts my social life, this feels like the perfect encapsulation of my recent experience with it. Interesting. Y'all are interpreting this very differently from what I was envisioning when I made it, and I think that's very telling on me. Y'all are fine. Huh. I would love to hear more about like how you did envision this. Because like, from your description, it seemed to be, you seem to think that it was very obvious. I would be very curious about like how we differ and what that means. What you think it means and what I think it means, and yes, very fascinating. No. Meanwhile, Wah. That's me. There's me down there. Oh. I was seeing it that the person, hang on, go back here. The person suffering from burnout was a very visible and horrifying thing in my own experiences. I get very snappy and ill-tempered with people when I'm burnt out, especially with a year-long burnout my previous job was causing. Yeah. Right, I guess that is a thing, like you getting irritable and stuff. I guess burnout is not always like this very quiet thing. So my experience is that burnout is a horrific spectacle, even if most people don't know that it's specifically burnout. Oh. Okay. True. I guess from my own experience, you know, I just shut off I just, you know, and I'm, you know, I'm scared enough of confrontation that I rarely manage to even get snappy. The only thing that happens, like, you know, the disdain that was mentioned, just like quietly thinking like, ugh, of course they are doing better and I'm not. Of course everybody's doing better than me, you know. Aw. Ah, Baba. Big hugs. Alright, now, interesting. So, So, I don't recognize a lot of this stuff, but like it seems like, right. This is art fight stuff. And, our dear friend is, you know, trying to climb up the art fight ranks. You know, gotta join the fight, gotta fight the good fight, be always producing. And, you know, again, there's a split here between two sides. Upward in the art fight, by, you know, drawing other people's characters. And then on the left, there's the comfortable, you know, comfort zone of your own characters, and also Tei. And I think that's what it was. It took me a while to realize, like, what is the difference between, like, the images on the left and the images on the right. But yeah, like, you know, in the left, like, that's all like their own character designs, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's all similar style. And Tay, wake the hell up. Why are you sleeping? I'm not sleep. Oh, okay. hang on. And there we go. I'm up right now. How's that?
Wake up TEYU, wake up. Nuo, Z.
No. No. What?
Wake up, samurai. We got a city to burn.
What? That sounds familiar. Where is that from? Anyway, freaking stop distracting me. Yeah, so, yeah, like, on the left is the comfort zone. On the left is stuff that you do for yourself. You know? On the right, well, hang on. let's transform this back. Even though this is kind of nice because it lets her rest a little bit. But yeah. So, and the thing is about the right, like, it's just kind of these expectations, like, you know, drawing other people's characters is fun and all, but like, when you do it because you feel like you have to, you're no longer doing it because you enjoy the process of it. You end up doing it for numbers. I don't know exactly what those numbers mean, but yeah, it becomes extrinsically motivated and stops being something that intrinsically gives you something, which, like I mentioned before, is that thing about, like, you know, your brain being able to properly conceptualize, like, work that you do for others, work that you do for a job. Like, sure, you might get that little dopamine push that says, like, ah, yes, the number is up. That's good, but, like, that's very abstract. Like, the process itself is still, like, just automatic, just, like, going through the motions and not giving you anything, just draining your energy. And it seems like she is maybe no, she. Okay, I was wondering if like maybe she's falling down. But no, I think she is reaching upward. But yeah, it just keeps getting more difficult too. Like, you know, the further up you go, it's it just gets more and more difficult to motivate yourself because you stop having that intrinsic motivation. You end up just having to drag yourself. I've often used the simile of like, you know, moving a car by dragging it behind yourself. Like at some point, you know, at some point, like the wheels will get worn down, and you're just dragging like the thing without any moving wheels or anything, and it just keeps getting harder the more it gets worn down. While it should be something that moves by itself, you know? And yeah, it's hard to keep going with that and not feel like you should just keep doing things for yourself. And, you know, the question is, why not? Like, what is exactly the reason why you're doing all this? Why you're fighting the art fight, you know, and all that? What are you doing it for? Because it should be, you should ultimately have something in it for you. It should be for something that like really means something to you. Like sometimes it's not bad to like, you know, really fight for something beyond the point where it's enjoyable, to really push yourself. But it needs to be for something that like really means something to you, something that is like really important. And if it's just like the expectation that like you are an artist, you're supposed to take part in this, you are supposed to be doing something, you have the feeling of being productive, and that's extrinsic. That is not something that you're really doing for yourself. That is something you're doing for an expectation. Also, bye Rev, take care. Okay. What have I missed? We see that you are suffering, and any rough outward behavior is a result of your suffering, not who you are. Yes. Aw. I can confirm, at my worst burnout, I became very paranoid, cynical, and bitter. When you're stuck in survival mode, it takes so much out of you. Yeah. It's true, it's true. Cyberpunk, yes. Number go up, yes. This makes me think of the law of diminishing returns, yeah. Feels like there's a sense of obligation, with all this art. Even if art fight specifically says you are not obligated to do so, it is possible to be burnt out on your hobbies. I speak from experience with TTRPGs, and it's okay to acknowledge that. Yeah, it's very much about like the way you frame it in your head, about like the way you approach it. That's how I've been trying to reframe streaming in my head, to make it less about like, you know, the numbers and everything, and just make it more about like, hey, I don't know, this is something I do that is just meaningful, and you know, it's something that engages me, that makes me use my head in a way that doesn't hurt or anything, that's actually like really fulfilling. It stopped being a want, it became a demand, but a demand from some ominous, nameless, faceless outside entity. Yeah. Yeah, the more you do, the less value it gradually has. Yeah. Yeah. Much like that thing about the gaming challenge, where it stops where eventually it stops being something that you even celebrate. This might be some legit therapy I actually needed. Oh dear. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you got something out of this. Okay. What was the commentary here? I don't want to work on art fight. I just want to draw cute Teiyu fan art and make more reference sheets of redesigning my own OCs using a simple chibi base so I don't have to anatomy. The characters drawn in each artwork I copied and glued into there are not relevant. They are just the most recent art fight drawings and reference sheets I've made. Climbing climbing up a cliff that goes beyond vertical and just towers over me. It just gets harder. I'm looking over there at the gentle incline with some things I would rather be drawing. Sunset to represent it getting really late in the month of art fight, and I have limited time to get through my pile of things I need / want to draw. Revenges on attacks I got, and then my huge bookmark collection. I just want to draw something easy and comfortable. I also have been hella distracted with other stuff that has time limits at the same time, and I feel like there is too much I need to do in too little time and I'm losing sleep. Oh. Ah, dear. Big hugs to you. Big hugs to you. Well, thank you for submitting that, and I hope you can rest soon. Or maybe right now. I do understand the revenge thing though, like it feels like that definitely feels like a social obligation, and like it's gonna be hard to reframe that. But honestly, like, you know, even if you can't turn off the voice that says like, you need to do the revenge thing, then like you can still do it after the art fight. Like they're maybe even gonna appreciate that even more when it's like, oh, you didn't do this for the points or anything. You just did it because you wanted to, you know. All right. There's an ad break soon, but we are done with submissions. So now there's just my own thing left. I feel the need to keep up with art fight because if I do more attacks, then people are more likely to want to draw for me. That's true, yeah. Do you think it would help to go into art fight deciding I'm going to make X many attacks and Y many revenges? That way you don't have the weight of obligation on you? That is a very good point, yeah. Like, that is a way to, like, keep yourself from going overboard and, like, really managing your energy and keeping in mind, like, you know, how much you want to invest. And, like, really, you have to manage, like, which ones are, like, really important to you instead of going for, like, just as much as possible, you know? Ultra strength. Hello. You redeemed bragging rights. What do you want to brag about? Isn't that supposed to be a redeem that requires entering text? I'm not seeing any text. What? I am confused. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the biddlies. So yeah, here's my submission. Perhaps, but these things change. Throughout the months, I'll come across more characters I want to draw and get more attacks I feel bad for not revenging. I don't know. Maybe you can develop like a thing for like premeditated and like leave a buffer. This Teiyu go too fast, let me out, yeah. Basically, yeah. It's interesting, like, we've had a... Charlie writes the Realty Coaster, yeah. It's very inspired by the Realty Coaster. Yeah. It's interesting that we've had a motif there of, like, you know, automatic movement forward, like, without, like, you know, without really wanting to do it anymore, just because, like, it's the thing that you know. Because, like, yeah, that's what I was going into this with. I want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it kind of went into that mask idea with like that, you know, the Teiyu persona being kind of a mask that like just kind of moves on its own in a sense, even if that mask is very similar to like me being myself. There's still, I don't know, it's still something that I perform, which is a very strange like balance. And you know, the fact that I feel like I need to do this performance, or I felt at least, you know, Yeah. He is smiling, but the dude inside is not. Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, that is a thing. That is very much a thing. I don't even know what to say. It's honestly all right there. It's just, it keeps going, and yeah, it's just boom. And I want to get off. I want to get off that automation, that yeah, that automatic behavior, that pattern. Yeah, I hug you too. The fact that you're not even controlling it says something as well. It moves automatically. The process is seemingly beyond your ability to control. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing with, like, you know, habits and stuff. Ah, Wubert, hello. Unfortunately, we're about to end. I'm sorry. But yeah. Stop the world, I want to get off is something I've felt a few times before. Oh man, yeah. Real. So real. Alright. Well, with that, I think it's about time to head out. Can I at least get a bathroom break, right? Like, you don't want to know what all the yellow stuff is here. Like, anyway. Alright, if you've been watching a lot on YouTube, then thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider leaving a like. And take care. Bye-bye. Alright. If left to right is forward, then the stereo coaster is regressing. Yeah, that's interesting. That's why I